there was an introduction, I just gave an introduction. I want to tell you one thing, I was all the time interested in studies. So at the age of almost 60, I took my PhD in management from ALUMNI Management School. And then I did another program at MIT also. This is part of my aspiration. Thank you. Very kind of you. So that was about a little bit about what I have done myself. Let me come back. Last year, somewhere around May, June last year, a few of us gathered in Chicago, and at that time, our Archbishop Thomas Mathew was visiting California. So the Chicago always had an SP Alumni Association from 2005. Or even before that, there was a professor by name K.S. Anthony. I don't know, you might have heard of him. He used to teach in our physics department in SP College in the 1950s. So he and Mr. Thomas were together. They were all contemporaries. Even K.K. Johnson were all his junior. So he was the man who came to the United States somewhere around the early 60s, 1960 or something. And he was teaching, and he only put the inspiration of gathering out all the Men's alumni in Chicago. He was the man who started the Malayali Engineers Association also, because after he came here with his MSc Physics, he did a program in Illinois Institute of Technology in the engineering side. So to long story short, he gathered some SBIs at that time, and that was somewhere around the 70s. But after some time it stopped. So in 2005, in Chicago, in the Zero Malabar Church, there were so many graduates from SB College. They all gathered after the church, and they said, we need to have an association, alumni association. Actually, at that time, or a little bit earlier, our old principal, Dr. Anthony Kuriyalashery, came to Chicago when he was a vicar general. And subsequently, Dr. George Mathew was the principal. He was later on took over from him with the kind of encouragement from Mathew. It was decided that we will start the alumni in 2005. So they were confining that in the Silver Malabar Church. They're not going it beyond that. It's not in the church, and they, after the sermon or after the church services, they will gather in one of the rooms over there, and that's how all these things came. So they were talking, they used to chit chat, and nothing went beyond. So they made a committee, there was a president, there was a secretary, and everything, but never went on. In 2020, they asked me, well, I am interested, I am an outsider, I was not in the church. They said, why did you come? We want to make you the vice president of this place. And there was a WhatsApp group. So I agreed and I went there. That's the time it was slowly moving. SP College alumni out of the Zero Malabar Church to another place. When I came over and I said, okay, let's look what we can do. So all of us sat, talked, and then last year, after so much of meetings and discussions, we finally decided when our Archbishop was here in a Zoom meeting, we invited him. And he said, you guys are talking all these things, what are you doing? What is the kind of thing you can do to the college? So in between, one of my junior, George Burgess, was the director of Berkeley Institute of Management Studies. So they called me, that was much before this, in total 2020 or something, 21 I think so. We need some kind of advice from your side. I said, what is it? He said, we are looking for somebody who knows about management, talk to the students in terms of how placements can happen and what is their career path. So I went on a Zoom call. I spoke to them and then I just told them. And at that time, it was Reggie, Paul Reggie was the principal. And he told me, why don't you take some classes for these students, because Governor is a junior. So I happened to take classes for them online, to the students. The first class I took was on artificial intelligence influence in management. And it started from there. And then when the Archbishop came here for the Zoom meeting, he said, we want to tap the people, the old students who can contribute to the alma mater. The first thing Thomas Mathew said was, can you have some kind of collaboration between SB College and the universities in the United States? So the first initiation started with one talk from the University of Sacramento in California. Or I would say University of California, Sacramento. That's how it should be. So that started, but when in the Zoom call, he said, why don't you all meet one? And that's how the concept of having an alumni national meet somewhere. So there were majority of people in Chicago, and then I also volunteered there and said, we have to do, but who will do what is the way of doing? So in that brainstorming session, more than a year ago, we decided, let's do an alumni meet, let's start with Chicago. And then with a lot of discussions, finally, I think the ALU. So it started from the ALU from a little bit, but finally they decided that they want somebody who can lead it. And then, Archbishop Mathew said, I don't want this to be just a zero Malabar. I want people, I want Hindus, I want Muslims, I want people from different denominations. I want people from Orthodox Church, I want Marthamites, and I want one of them to lead it, because we will show an example that SB College is for everybody. St. Wilkins is not for a few families around Chennai, but it is for everybody, which I think was a very good inspiration. So based on that, I was being selected that be a chairman, and then we were thinking how we will do that. So one day I happened to talk to the Archbishop and I said, will you be able to come down? We will arrange an alumni meet, we will put the network. Finally he said, yeah, then I will come. And then only all this popped up, that there is a Syro Malabar Convention which is coming up in Chicago from July 9th to July 12th in Chicago. And he said, oh, the Cardinal is also coming, because he's he's from the alumni of SB College. That is the Cardinal George Jacob Coker. So he said, I will take care of it, I will bring him also. So we all got together and we got inspired. And then the date was fixed and we said, let us do it one day before the convention, so that the Cardinal can be there, I can be there, and then we'll get. And finally, we said, yes, then who are we going to bring? And they said, let's get the SB College principal and the Assumption principal. SB College principal is, he's coming over here, Father Teddy, and then Assumption College principal Rani Maria, she's also coming. And then Martino brother also said, I also want to join. So it became like everybody was interested, and then finally we got one person. So I am not in that. I hears at the moment, I am not here. So I said, let's get one of our civil service officers. That's why we got Raju Narayanaswamy, who is the son of Venkataraja Bhaiya, our mathematics teacher, all of you might know. So Raju also agreed that he will come, and that's the time when we start. So we kicked off the convention on December 27th of 2025, and then we decide who all are the people who can come for the convention. So we started talking to people. So we were not able to get to Joseph Pudili or S.K. Chavi and all the stalwarts. Some suddenly we got Sojan. Sojan was somebody who knows Sojan from his class, said, Sojan Anthony. And I think, send me your name also came. But I said, that is not the man. The man is these two people, S.K. Jarian and Mohali, and they are the people. And I heard your name also. And John Beacon said, we have to get him. Then I said, I was working on it. So we got people from Dallas. John Joseph was there. He's very active. Bindu, a lady, a professor in Austin, Dr. Bindu Thomas, she is active. And then we have only a very young lady called Ocean from here. And most of the time, I think Mr. Sejarian knows that she knows her, but she was hesitant to do. But we all knew that the key people are still here in Houston. So we got people from California, we got the executive committee, the steering committee was formed, different committees were formed, and finally we decided let's get the ball moving. So we started getting people registering. We decided we have $200 because we don't know how the expenses goes. We wanted to start this, build the networking. What do we want to do? People of any age. Then I have one of the eldest person who's there in our committee is Dr. Vincent Uttamveru. I don't know if you have heard of that person. He is the first billionaire of St. Lawrence College in the United States. He lives in Milwaukee. I think he's coming for that. We are honoring him. I went there. He donated $1 million to the People Foundation in Vatican. And I'm telling you, he's an amazing man. He's this height, 87 plus. He runs. I have to run with him. And he's a classmate of Dr. George Martin. They all sat next together. George Martin did his physics graduation, then only went for MA in literature. And it was so good. I went and met him. He said, what do you want? He wrote a $10,000 check and gave it to me. He said, this is my thing for you now. Ask me if you want any more money. I want to do. And then he said, I want. Then I don't know whether my way of talking, because after all this I am like a sales guy, working in IBM also. I'm not a techie like him. Joseph Bunuli or like him was more techie. I'm more on a management guy. So my job is just talking. Sales guys will talk. So I keep on talking. He found that something is there, and he said, I want to join with you. And then he wrote to the Archbishop and the Cardinal, and I want to contribute a big building in St. Beckman College called Center of Arts, Science and Technology. That's going to be almost a 8-story building exclusively. The place has been already identified the campus. The cost is in Indian rupees 30 crores. Is the amount. And last week, 3 days ago, Dr. Vincent Uttamveru just said, I am going to give $250,000 now. Just join me. Let us raise the 20 crores, build this Center of Arts, and say the United States faculty here, which includes all of you, will go and talk to the students. I mean, all of you are well versed in this, and let them understand what we can contribute. What is the technology we can contribute? How the college, which is an autonomous institution, can have the brains coming from overseas who can do that. So that is the kind of thing which we have done. I'm working at a convention. We want everybody. We want to make, this is just a start. We want to start a networking. Tomorrow, if I want to come here all the time, I want to be here at least once or twice, or 3 times a year, as long as Mr. S.K. calls me and said, you please come over, I'll be more than happy. I'm honored, to be honest with you, I'm honored to come over here because I've seen the kind of, the oneness, the cooperation between each one of you. This is something good. This is something called networking. So my humble request is, I know Sojan, you are coming, Seni, you are coming, and I need SK and Joseph Punuli and Mrs. Punuli and everybody here. John, you are a great man. You can also be part of it. So I want the presence from you. I want the kind of brains, and let's talk what we can do. We are not here to just collect money. We are only looking into what else we can do, that people who are millionaires and all that things, I want to do something for the college. Nobody is pressurized to give any single penny. We want to build up a family. We want to stand up and say, we are proud, recognized. I always remember after I took my IAS, one day I was traveling in my, that in Kerala, or especially in India, I don't have to tell you, a class 1 officer is a king. You're right now, you know that. Here I am the president of IBM. If I want to get a cup of coffee, I have to take my mug and go to the kitchen and prepare my own coffee and come and drink. There's nobody who can come and give you want a cup, you know that very well. You all do that, you all sit at. But when I was a collector, when I get out of my house, there are people to iron my clothes, I get a cup of coffee in the morning, I have somebody who can, polish my shoes, and I walk to my car, I have a car with a chauffeur, he will open the door, I sit down, he gives a paper, and which office you carry, you know that very well. And I said, I just have to put my bell and I have 10 people coming. That's the kind of we have. But when I was traveling in my car,
Go back
when I was traveling in my state car, when I go to the St. Martin's Hall, I look back and look at the farm building and said, this is where I started. This is where I started learning things. Today, wherever I am, whatever I am, and I didn't tell you one more thing, and I don't want to flatter myself. I am currently the principal advisor to Prime Minister Modi for information technology for the government of India. I talk to Prime Minister Modi every 2 weeks on a one-to-one. I am not a BJP guy, I am not into any Hindutva, but one thing I want to tell you. I have talked to so many administrators. I was also part of one of the advisors for Obama and also for Biden. Because I never wanted to work with, sorry, I am not a politician, but not with a current person, because I really find it difficult. But today I am telling you, when I was speaking to Prime Minister Modi, I can see the kind of, the knowing a subject and how he interacts, and he's so good in that. And he asked me to explain about artificial intelligence to him. I explained about other. Even after 15 minutes, he started asking questions to me as if he learned it. That's kind of intelligence this man. You call him, he is a guy who was making tea and selling on the platforms. Today, he has got a vision. Like I'm coming back. So who gave me that? Something which I debated in Cowcott Hall, in SB College. Something I learned from what professors like B.J. Agassi, A. Agassi, Madhavan Pillai, and I'm just a CSS career. You remember the economics CSS career, mathematics essay Bernard. All these great stalwarts has he taught us what to do. I can stand and one more thing, I give some examples, I hope I'm not boring you. When the 2008, when Obama was running for his presidency, I just moved to Chicago. So there was a lot of huge hue and cry. You remember at that time, IBM was going on offshoring all our work. We started our Bangalore Center, we started our Hyderabad Center, all of them. Jobs were going on. So the politicians doesn't want that. And then Obama's campaign was, we'll have jobs here. So I wrote a small note that David Plumb was his campaign manager, but I wrote to Obama directly. I don't know if he would have got it or not. That I don't think that your idea of not offshoring will work because America is a capitalistic country, everybody wants to make money. So when I said that, I didn't expect that he will say anything. I got a letter back from his campaign manager and said, Senator Obama wants to meet you in person. Can let me know your time. I was shocked. He was running. He was running against John McCain. And I remember the day, it was somewhere around in August I think. And it was in the air. I think Westgate House, there's an Aeon Center big building in downtown Chicago. That's where his campaign office is. And I went there and he came out. He came out and just caught me on my hands. And that's the time I knew that he has a big hand and it's very strong. He said, and we sat and we talked, he looked at my face and said, Mathew, I totally agree with you as an individual that if companies in the United States want to make money, they have to have a bottom line, which is good. So we are in, but on the political angle, you know. So we had a 1 hour discussion. I put my points. He said, I like what you say. Let's circle back. Then he got busy and he was running. He won. When he won, I wrote congratulating for him. Like he told me, congratulations. He called me and said, "Go to meet you now." Then he's already pursuing action. I went to get my witness, the Secret Service was over there. I was, and they made a kind of background check about me, and I went in and met him, and I congratulated, he looked at my face and said, "Do you want to join my team in Washington?" I said, I was shocked. I said, my intention was not even to be I was a class 1 officer. My intention was keep a green card here and keep my Indian passport, like what you said, go back to India and be like a king over there. I said, first and foremost, I said, I'm not taking my citizenship at that time. I'm still on a green card. He said, that's not a problem. You can be a citizen tomorrow when I sign a paper. He was telling us, President, that's not a problem. No, but I said, I would be good to any advice you. So I didn't join him for 10 because IBM was there and I had to work with them and all that. Finally, he said, I want your advice once, so I'll put them to panel. As and when we'll call you. And I was called for 2 times. Same thing happened with Biden also. Long story short, how all this is came. The great words of aliens in the way of talking English language. They all been training us how we can talk the language. You may know that in India, a lot of us come from Malayalam medium. I did all in English because I was in Singapore, but the transition in an education institution in assimilating the language is something which we all learn. And SL Buckmans was very good in that, and I learned leadership over there. When I look at SL Thomas sir coming in, the quiet way he walks, I see Professor George. We have a nickname for it. I hope chemistry people know what we call a chemistry department head. Hey George. Professor, Professor Durmugan, right? Something like that people say. He doesn't smile. Yeah, he doesn't smile at all. So Durmugan. Yeah. Jose was 1 year junior to me. His elder son, Jose was 1 year junior to me. And he's in Dubai. 1 year later. Yeah, he's 1 year junior.
He has a reason to be like that.
Yeah, he's very strict.
He told us that story.
Okay, so we learned a lot how to become, I remember when Dr. Anthony Kuriyavi when he walks, I think when you all studied was Kala Sheri, right? Both these people run away from them. We won't stand there. Today I was so happy when I'm talking every day to Father Teddy, Dr. Teddy. He's a very simple man. I cannot talk to Kuriyavi, that the way he walks around. We learn how to become serious. We learn how to become passionate. We learn all these things. So, all the Berkmanites, when we join together, we can do wonders. I heard your beautiful thing in University of California in Berkeley. What a great institution. What a great institution. Computer science cradle came from there. Whatever artificial intelligence or source code between Stanford, Berkeley, Carnegie Mellon, and MIT put together. That's
more than a dozen Nobel laureates.
I know that. So let us make a point like this. We can do wonders. That's what I will kick forward to the brain. The brain has to work. Not like, I like the way age is not a thing for us. That inspiration we have. So my humble request, I came here because I want to meet all of you. Yesterday you have been wonderful. I've been talking to you. And Joseph brutally, I was not able to talk to you while you were in Morocco. But I started a great conversation with him. And now I am meeting all of you. And all of you will be close to my heart. So my humble request is, I want a few of you to come to Chicago. One day is enough. Let's meet and start it. And then I don't mind coming when Father Teddy is here. I don't mind. Because that's how we build it. Come and attend the convention. Let's make it a success. Let's meet together. Let's build up the fraternity for our alumni. And then let's see that how we can help each other. So this is my humble request. I came, I gave him the file. There's a registration, you see that online registration portal is already in the alumni thing here. And I'm also part of your WhatsApp group. So I put that also there in the other general group. So let's make this a success. Thank you very much. I am honored for all your beautiful hospitality. you're wonderful. You came and took your time to, listen to the apple. I can't forget it. I mean, it's all close to my heart. You're great. I learned a lot of things while you talk. Sergeant, you are one of the very good kids I know. You will tell us if a spade is a spade. You always say that. I've seen his comments in that. Thank you very much, you have people. I'm going to learn from you. You are a great man. You have been not senior to me in IBM. In IBM, I like to learn from you. Great singer.
You can give it me why?
I will give you anything in writing. Don't worry. And then we have a talent. And then I think we both might have some relation in terms of Talividi and I'm sure. And you studied Mathew College, right?
Yeah.
And when TC North said, Achay was the principal, right? That's right. And Berkeley is close to my heart. And I don't know what to say, you are also, I heard you talking. So,
He's a great man.
he's a great man. Sunny,
My friend.
you're awesome because I feel people like you should be there to tell your story, which gives inspiration to a lot of people. So thank you very much. Again, humbly requesting you to register and come for our convention. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, sir.